It's the day that the Lord has made. Nothing to seem like a top down. Oh, there's nothing wrong with living right now. So it's not wasting another day.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Know the Vibes. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I know it's been a while, but I'm back and I am rejuvenated and refreshed. I hope y'all have been doing well. Shout out to all the new subs as well. Today we are filming like a new little area. Just gonna try to switch it up here and there. And you guys are in the mental health series, faith-based series. I really just pray this is like a good healing journey for you all. Like a free therapy session is like how I like to think of it. If you agree with something in the video or you want to add to something in the video, this is a safe space, so you are able to do so. And I just come here and give you guys what God has given me, hoping and praying that it will touch and reach someone and help them with their journey with Christ as well. We're just here to strengthen one another, pour into each other. I feel like that is a huge part of being a child of God. It's just really pouring into, you know, each other and loving one another and uplifting one another, because, you know, that's what we're made to do, to worship God and to fellowship as well and to love. Today, I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. That's kind of been in my heart. I noticed that's been popping up quite a bit for me. How we should be pouring into each other and how love is really like one of the main things God wants us to be doing, is loving one another. And with that, we should be pouring into each other. Somebody literally just uplifting you and calling you at the right time can literally just change your whole mood around. And that could be the push that gets you, you know, going back on the right path or back motivated to do whatever you need to do, because God really does speak through people, y'all. So sometimes I feel like if a person just like randomly hits me up while I'm going through something, I feel like God probably put me on their heart, you know, to reach out to me. Since God's not physically here with us, you know, like in human form, he will send a human to us to communicate with us. Just realize that this is also a way God speaks to you if you don't know that already. He speaks through dreams, he speaks through visions, he speaks through people, he speaks through his word, he speaks through songs. I feel like sometimes he speaks through nature as well, his creation basically. So you really just have to keep an eye out for those type of things, and just you also make sure you're that person that's uplifting somebody else as well. If somebody is on your heart, like you can't get somebody out of your head, or somebody randomly pops in your head that's probably not normally in your head, especially if they've been coming across your mind a lot, this could very much well be God wanting you to reach out and pour a little life into them, because you just never know what you could say that could really just turn somebody's day around and uplift them, and like I say, get them back on the, you know, righteous path, or just a path of light. Because so many of us are living in darkness and we don't talk about it. We kind of just put ourselves in this little shell and we don't come out of it until somebody pulls us out. Or, I mean, worst case scenario, you never get out of it, and then you end up doing something that it's just something in the moment. That darkness just starts to like really override all the light in your life, and you just feel like you want to give up. And you know what I always tell you on this channel is, you are in the right place and you are doing good as long as you have not given up. Tomorrow's always a new chance and a new opportunity to just pick up your cross and keep going, whatever it may be in your life. As I told y'all before, this channel is not just for believers, it's for unbelievers too, because I do feel like God can plant a seed through me or anybody else. If you are able to, you know, be strong enough to speak up and speak life into others, you can be that person that can plant a seed and change somebody's life. So I also want to talk about that today. I did a Bible study like a few months back, and it's crazy that I was literally talking about how, like, thinking about how I want to do a video about pouring life into others. And then I was just looking at my notes here. I saw a few months ago I had like a little Bible study about that. So I just want to talk about a few scriptures that align with that as well. Okay, so I was reading out of Joshua 22. This was the NLT version. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, y'all. If you want to get the whole context of the text, definitely go check it out. On here, I definitely urge y'all to go read scripture. Read it for yourself so you can kind of get your own take on things and your own perception of everything and your own understanding, because I feel like, you know, God does speak through his word, and he may give us all different messages at different times in our life, because it is the living and breathing word. So just know that even though you read the Bible once, if you've read it front to back already, in life, and that was like 2 years ago, you can most definitely do it again, because God will speak through his word, and it will speak to your certain situation in your current life at the moment. There was a lot of trouble with worshiping other idols whenever the Israelites were in the wilderness, and they turned away from God a lot, but at one point they were also worshiping an altar. I'm just going to start with this part. It says, "But do not rebel against the Lord or against us by building an altar other than the one true altar of the Lord our God." Didn't divine anger fall on the entire community of Israel when Achan, a member of the clan of Zerah, sinned by stealing the things set apart for the Lord? He was not the only one who died because of his sin. So that's the main part that I want to talk about right there. He's not the only one that died because of our sin. So back then, there was people that also died from another person's sin. More than one person would be affected, right? So I kind of brought that in today's world, where our sin, the things we do, affects our purpose and affects our calling, right? And I truly do believe, like, all of us are here to, part of our purpose is to help bring people to Christ through our testimonies. Through God saving us, it creates a testimony for us to tell others, for us to plant a seed in others, for God to be able to save them as well. So the whole idea of life is to bring everyone to Christ, so we all can have this peace, this love, this joy, this peace that surpasses all understanding. We can have peace and joy through all situations. I wrote here, your sin could be connected to so many others' downfall, just like your obedience can be connected to so many other yeses to God and submit their life to God. At the end of the day, we can be influenced to others, and sometimes our actions can affect others as well. Although we are our own people and make our own decisions, it seems to be human nature to be influenced by others. Why do you think there are so many influencers? So it's just like, your yes to God, and you telling your testimony and giving your life to God, and people seeing you, show those fruits in your life, and then they want to know, like, how do you have this much joy? How do you have this much peace? And we can point it all back to God. Sometimes you don't have to tell people, like, oh, this happened and this and I'm that. You can just show them. Be organic and be natural throughout your life. People that are close to you are going to wonder, what was the shift about? What was the change about? How do you have this shift in your life? How do you have this change in your life? And you can point it all back to God, and then you can tell your testimony, however you want to do things. You don't have to be on the streets, preaching the gospel. Everybody has their way. You can do it that way if you feel comfortable that way. But I do feel like God has allowed us to have certain gifts that allow us to spread the gospel in our own ways, So that's something to think about. I don't want people to feel like if you're not into public speaking, because public speaking like in front of like a crowd or something is definitely not something I'm into, but I am comfortable speaking in front of a camera. So I just feel like you should find your way to talk about God. Find your way to pour life into others, because your yes to God can be connected to so many lives and souls being saved and turning their, life to Christ. So I just see it this way. Just like back then they said you sinned and you weren't the only one that died, so many other people died from this as well. If your, answer is no to God, and you don't believe in Jesus, you don't believe in God, and you're not living for God, then it's just like you influence so many other people naturally, the people around you. Just imagine how many of us, if we follow Christ, how many other people are influenced by that. Imagine if all these influencers or everybody living in the way of, the darkness turn to light. The more people that turn to light, the more people see that. And then they want to do that as well, because we are naturally influenced, especially this day and age. Just, pour life into others. Pay attention to your actions. Realize your actions do have consequences, and your actions don't only affect you. Your actions can affect other people as well. That pretty much sums it up for this video. So if God's been putting somebody on your heart, definitely just, contact that friend that has been put on your heart or been in your dreams lately, or just anybody you haven't talked to in a while, family member, friend, whoever. Call them, check on them, just see how they're doing. You never know, what conversation could change somebody, and then, like I said before, it doesn't have to be you just preach. It can just be you asking how their day was, acting out of love, y'all. It doesn't have to be this religious thing. Use your relationship with Christ to build you up in love. And then you just spread that love to others, knowing that is the love of Christ. I pray y'all have a blessed day. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Go out there and uplift somebody today. I'm praying for y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for all the love and support, and have a blessed day.
It's the day that the Lord has